welcome back to my channel, and today I got a good video for y'all. In this video, I'm gonna be talking about everything that you need today to start tattooing as a self-taught artist. I'm gonna go through all the supplies of what you will be needing, whether you're working on fake skin or real skin. I'll also be letting y'all know where to get all of these products from that won't hurt your wallet. When I first started my tattoo journey, these are about all of the same supplies that I had first bought when I first started. I'm gonna also let y'all know some products that y'all won't need right now, but it will be a great help in the end. First things first, we're gonna be going through all the products that you will need to keep a clean station, making sure everything is wrapped up so then you can prevent any bloodborne pathogens from spreading anywhere and any cross-contaminations. So first on the list, we have a heavy cleaning agent. I'm not talking about Lysol, I'm not talking about any multi-surface disinfectant. I'm talking about a cleaner that at least has a 1-minute kill time. Now, what I mean about a kill time is that if I was to put this on any surface, whatever organisms is on that surface, it will kill it in at least a minute, 2 minutes, some products 6 minutes. So for these wipes, they have a 1-minute kill time. They kill all types of stuff that I can't even pronounce on here, but we definitely see hepatitis B, hepatitis C, herpes. You got coronavirus up on here.
Coronavirus!
And then this also kills TB in 2 minutes. So you definitely want a heavy cleaner on all surfaces that you wipe down. You're gonna be working with blood, you're gonna be working with plasma, you're gonna be working in people's skin. So the last thing that you want is somebody else's blood, infected or not, all over your workstation. So personally, I like to use Opticide Max. There's also Meticide and Cavicide. But personally, I just like Opticide because I love the smell. There's something about this smell that just... it does something to me. Like, I love it. I don't know what it is. And I have the jug of Opticide Max as well. It's literally the same thing as the whites, but this is just the liquid. And I like to pour the liquid in my spray bottle just so I can spray it on all of my surfaces. Unfortunately, I have to make sure that everything is clean, everything is wiped down. So usually I'll spray my Opticide on all of my surfaces and then I'll follow up and wipe down with the Opticide Max wipes. That's just me personally, but definitely make sure you have a heavy cleaner, please. Next on the list, and you're gonna need a lot of these, gloves. I don't know how many gloves I go through in a day, from placing the stencil to setting up my station to then switching out those gloves and actually working on the skin. Then of course another pair when I tear down, break down. I really love nitrile gloves. I got put onto them at the first shop that I had worked at. Definitely durable, definitely strong, and the colors of the gloves are completely up to the artist. Before, I definitely used pink gloves, but I got tired of seeing all the excess ink and plasma and blood on my gloves, so black is just easier to work with for me. Next, you're gonna want to get some clip cord covers or sleeves for your machine or your clip cords. So these sleeves are put on your machine to protect them from all the blood and all the plasma that you will be working around. These also come in extra long for your clip cords if you're using a coil machine or if you're just using an RCA cable. You're just gonna take the sleeve, you're gonna put your machine in, using gloves, of course, using gloves. Now your machine is wrapped, your machine is covered, and you're ready to go. Adhesive wrap. So adhesive wrap is definitely something else that you want to use on your machine. Only for comfort, it doesn't protect you against any bloodborne pathogens. This is why a lot of artists have this wrapped around their machine. It's just for comfort, and so you have a good grip on it so the machine doesn't slip out your hand just from having the sleeve on it. Next, you're gonna get yourself some alcohol, specifically 70%. Don't get 91 thinking it's gonna clean the skin better. No, we use 70% specifically because it has more water in it, which means it's gonna dissolve slowly and penetrate the cells, and then it will kill the bacteria. So along with the alcohol, get yourself a bottle. Personally, I like to use a squeeze bottle because it's just easier. And whatever bottle you put your alcohol in, make sure you label it, because you don't want to make a mistake and then grab the wrong bottle thinking it's green soap and you pick up alcohol and then you just use it all on a freshly new tattoo. That's going to burn. Please make sure you put labels on your stuff. Alcohol you can just easily pick up at your local Walmart, CVS, wherever you go to get the alcohol at. And then the squeeze bottle, Amazon. Next thing you need to get yourself is some green soap. Green soap, you're gonna use this to clean the tattoo on your client. You can also use this on fake skin as well to wipe away excess ink. Just like with the alcohol, get yourself another squeeze bottle. Just like with the alcohol, get yourself another squeeze bottle and make sure you label it. And with the green soap, I actually found out that less is more. So you don't need to fill your bottle all the way up to here of green soap. Really, you can just come down here and fill it up and then fill up the rest with distilled water. Green soap you're gonna find on Amazon as well. Now, along with those squeeze bottles, you're gonna get yourself some bottle bags. You can either get bottle bags or you can use saran wrap. Personally, I just like using bottle bags because it's easier. You just grab your bottle, put it up in there, and then you're ready to go. I like to just twist it around, put some tape down, hold it down, and yeah. Next, you want to get yourself some saran wrap. Saran wrap is great for creating a barrier on whatever surface you're going to be using to tattoo. So saran wrap should go on your tray table, on the bed, on whatever surface that you know you will be touching. Another alternative to saran wrap is barrier film. Barrier film works the same way just as saran wrap. It's just a very thin sheet, very thin layer. One side is sticky, so you can put it on whatever surface that you know you'll be touching on. For me, I like to use barrier film on my phone because I know I'll be touching my phone during the tattoo, either to change the music or to stop or start recording. So I always put this on whatever surface that I know I will be touching during the tattoo. Although some artists use them, some artists don't, I use them personally. I like using dental bibs just because it soaks up all of the liquid that falls on the table, so it's not just puddled up on top of like saran wrap. So what I like to do is I like to lay down saran wrap first and then put the dental bib on top. So it's even more protection, and then I don't have to worry about any water or ink spilling all over the place and it just being a puddle left. And if you're going to be tattooing at the house, I definitely recommend getting some type of sheet to put over your chair, bed, desk, wherever you're going to be tattooing at or wherever the client is going to be sitting at. I highly recommend. This is just a long sheet that you can drape over whatever surface and the client can lay down. So say you're doing a back tattoo, they can just lay on top of this and then you don't have to worry about any blood, any plasma just spraying and spilling all over the place. It'll just land right on the sheet. Bed sheets and the barrier film can be found on Amazon. You could potentially find those at any Walmart as well, but for the best option, Amazon. One thing that I forgot to mention that you absolutely need to have is a sharps container. This is where you're going to put all of your used needles because you can't just simply put them in a trash can. The needles could easily rip and tear through whatever bag they're in and puncture whoever it is that is on the outside of the bag. So this is why we need a sharps container to ensure that all of the used and dirty needles are in one place and that they are thrown away properly. Next thing we're going to talk about is all the hardware that you'll be using to actually tattoo. Starting off with tattoo machines. You have different types of tattoo machines by different brands. You have coil machines, rotary machines, and pin style machines. I will say you do not need the most expensive machine to start practicing tattooing. You do not need to buy the most expensive machine thinking that it's going to give you the results that you want. No, that comes with time, practice, consistency. If you know especially that you're just going to be practicing and you're not looking to financially gain off of anything right now, then it's definitely better just to go with a cheap, reliable machine. Personally, I would recommend a Dragon Hawk machine because I started with that machine and I had no issues. I had no issues with practicing. It was just the easier option to learning compared to rotary or coil machines. You can find a quality tattoo machine off of Amazon. Just definitely make sure you look at the reviews, look what other people have said about it, and also do your research before you buy a machine because all machines have different specialties to them, have different perks to them. So you need to figure out what it is that you want in a machine, that you like about a machine, and that you feel like you would work best with. So I don't have my first machine on hand with me, but I do have my second machine. This is my Mass Pro Archer that I have used for about 2 to 3 years, I believe. I definitely love the fact that it has a built-in battery pack already, so all I have to do is just charge it up. And And then now I have my big bore machine. This is my FK Irons EXO 3.2 millimeter stroke machine. This one comes with a removable battery pack and I have 2 of these. I really love this machine right now. It doesn't cause any problems and I'm definitely excited to get another one. Quiet. Just to recap, you don't need an expensive machine just to start today. I definitely recommend you not wasting your money on a $500, $600, or $1,000 machine. Just go ahead and get you a cheap quality machine off of Amazon and just practice with that. Next thing you're gonna need to get yourself is some needles. I would recommend getting at least 1 box of a couple of different sizes. So maybe a box of 3 round liners, a box of 9 round liners. Get you a 13 curve mag or a 27 curve mag. Needle bars are the long, thin needles that you usually see that will go in coil machines and rotary machines. And then you have needle cartridges that will go in the pin style machines. For starter needles, I also recommend you not buying the most expensive brand right off the bat. If you're just going to be working on fake skin or you're just practicing small tattoos on a friend, I would recommend either Dragon Hawk needles or Big Wasp needles. The very first needles that I ever started using was Big Wasp. It had like an orange grip around the outside, so it helps you get used to holding the machine. And I just thought it was a great beginner needle. I used those on fake skin, and I had used those for a little while until I had switched over to Vulcan needles. Dragon Hawk or Big Wasp needles you can definitely find on Amazon. Now, if you personally want to come out your pockets and you want to go ahead and use quadrant needles, you want to go ahead and use Bishop needles, Cheyenne needles, whatever type of needles that you want to use, go ahead and use them. That's up to you. My personal recommendation is that you don't need to spend money on needles that you're just going to be throwing away at the end of the day. Also, something else that y'all definitely need to start getting into the habit to is checking the expiration date on y'all needles. Needles do have an expiration date. You cannot use these past a certain year. For example, the year is 2024 right now. These needles expire October 2028. 2028 comes, I better not have these needles. Like, I better not be using them. So definitely just check the expiration date, check the actual needles as well. You don't want to use needles that look like they've been opened, look like they've been messed with. The barbs of the needles are bent out of place. Just go ahead and get you another needle. Good majority of needles you can find on Amazon, but some other needles that you might be looking for, whether it's Cheyenne, Bishop, Vulcan, more than likely you're gonna have to go on a tattoo supply page and actually buy those needles from there. Next on the list, you're gonna want to get you some ink to tattoo with. Now for starters, I recommend Dynamic ink. Dynamic ink all around is a great starter ink. There's a lot of big name tattoo artists that still use Dynamic ink compared to all of the other fancy inks that are out there. I do recommend getting triple black though. If you want a solid black, get triple black. Most of these tattoo inks you can also find on Amazon. If you get a tattoo kit from Amazon, do not use those inks. Do not use the inks that come in any of the tattoo kits. Those inks are not good. They're not good for your skin. You don't want to put those in your skin. Only use those to practice. Those are only for practice skin. That's it. But anything on real skin or fake skin, get you some quality ink. A good way to start learning how to shade, I would recommend getting some gray wash. This gray wash is different from other gray washes because, for one, this is pre-made, so you don't have to go through the drop system of making gray wash. These definitely come in kits, so there's an 80, 60, 40, and then there's a 20, and then I also have the regular 0 mixing solution. Personally, this is what I started getting into just so it can help me more with my shading. And then I don't have to worry about the calculations of if this is too much for this shade or if this shade is too dark to be this. So yeah, no, for me, this was just easier, so yeah. These are a little bit more difficult to find. More than likely, you're gonna have to go online to find these kits, but Amazon does have them in certain places. If you know you want to start practicing your color, then definitely get color kits. So this is a color kit that I have gotten from Fusion. Hold on, let me not say color kit, sample pack. Okay. So in this sample pack, we have 12 different colors here. And these are all the primary colors that I would need to do any type of color piece. But I feel like this is definitely a better option than to buying full-size individual bottles of each color. You can just go ahead and get you a little kit and it comes with all the colors, save you a little bit of money, and boom. Just like with everything else, I highly recommend you doing research on what inks that you would like to use. Because there are multiple brands, a lot of people like using different brands for different things, such as lining, shading. So really, it's just all personal preference up to the artist. And just like with those needles, make sure y'all checking the expiration date. You don't want to use no dirty ink. You don't want to use old ink. Next, we're going to get all into the little stuff that is surely a necessity when it comes to tattooing. For one, you need stencil paper and a stencil printer. Stencil printers you can find on Amazon. The cheapest one I saw was probably like $100. The cheapest one I ever bought was probably $100 as well, which was my first one. I highly recommend getting a stencil machine that's going to print out your image. You can also find different types of transfer sheets and stencil paper on Amazon as well. When I first started, I had the stencil machine that when you first printed the image, it would transfer out onto the stencil paper, and then you cut the stencil paper and then boom, you got your stencil. So that's what I had at first. It surely was helpful compared to actually like tracing out your design on the stencil paper. While I don't think that's a bad idea, me personally, I like having the exact image already on the paper. I don't want to trace nothing out. I don't want to sit here and go back to look at the stencil paper and then realize I missed a couple of lines and now I have to go back and put the image in the same exact spot and just to retrace it. No. And then the stencil printer I have now, from my iPad, whatever design I create, I send it to my printer and it prints out. And then for that printer, I just use regular transfer paper. And I know a lot of y'all been asking me, how do you transfer the design to the paper? How do you transfer? I'm gonna make another video of it explaining how I do it, and I'm gonna show y'all. I got y'all, I promise. Next on the list that you need to be getting yourself is some type of stencil application. A lot of people use different things, but me personally, stencil stuff has never let me down. This is what you're gonna be putting on the skin to transfer the design from the paper to the skin. Stencil stuff can be found on Amazon or any tattoo supply website or store. And then to pair with it, I have stencil spray that I have put in this misting bottle, so it's just easier for application. Obviously, I need to get some more, but you're gonna get yourself some razors. Razors, pretty common sense, you're gonna shave the area where you will be placing the tattoo at. Always make sure you're using disposable razors so you can just throw them away after each client. I recommend buying them in bulk, which you can do on Amazon. I've gotten 20 packs, I've gotten 50 packs of razors. So yeah, no, you can buy these in bulk on Amazon and you can save money. Next on the list, you can't do nothing without some paper towels. Everybody has a preference. Everybody has their own types of paper towels that they like to use. Me personally, I like to use Bounty paper towels, specifically the ones that tear in half like this. They're just easier for me rather than the big square pieces. And as you develop in your career, at some point you're gonna be trying out different paper towels and you're gonna know which ones that you like and the ones that you don't like. Like for me, I don't like the Viva paper towels. They're too thin, and then the little microfibers just come off so easily and they get everywhere. And they get on the skin when I'm trying to clean the skin, and I can't stand those paper towels. So I'm pretty sure at some point you're gonna figure out what paper towels that you like to work with. The next thing that you wanna add to that Amazon order is going to be ink caps. So you need ink caps to, of course, hold the ink on your tray table. If I know I'm gonna be doing a small piece and I don't need a lot of ink, I'm gonna use my smaller ink caps. So then that way I don't end up using more of my ink by putting more in a cap that I'm not even gonna need in the end. Or if I know I'm gonna be using gray wash, then I'm gonna use my medium caps. Next thing that you wanna get yourself is some type of glide. Another alternative to inkies is just using plain Vaseline. And you're gonna use that on your client's skin to help the needle drag across the skin smoothly. This is also a great way to hold down your ink caps on your tray table. Along with your glide, make sure you're using popsicle sticks as well. Along with the glide, you're gonna wanna get yourself some popsicle sticks. Popsicle sticks are a better way of scooping out the glide and laying it on your tray table. Definitely cleaner too. You don't wanna just scoop your hand or scoop your gloved finger in the container. Like, just keep it clean, keep it cute, use a popsicle stick. Something that you also wanna make sure that you have are rinse cups. Rinse cups are what you wanna use when you wanna change in between colors or clean off your needle from one gray wash to the next. Rinse cups you can just go to your local Walmart and get. There's also other alternatives to using a rinse cup, but just for the purpose of being a starter, rinse cups, you can just find those at Walmart. Next thing that you want to get yourself is some water, but it needs to be distilled water. This is the cleanest possible water that you could get, that you could use. Don't use no tap water, don't use bottled water. Distilled water. Then one of the last things that you want to get is some fake skin. You can find different sizes, different types of fake skin on Amazon. I do recommend using real skin. I've used it before and I do feel like it's a great quality fake skin. If you were to go on some tattoo supply websites, then you'll see arms and limbs and heads and faces, different body parts that you can tattoo as well. Practice definitely makes perfect, so get you a lot of fake skin. Now, the very last thing is completely optional. When I first started off, I did not start with this, and since I got it, it's definitely been a big help. You're gonna wanna get yourself an iPad. You don't really necessarily need it, but it is a game changer when you have it. I had got my iPad within like the first year of me tattooing, and it's definitely been like one of the biggest helps in my career. There's a lot of different programs that you can use to create tattoo designs, but me personally, I like using Procreate. I love using Procreate. It's very simple to use, very simple to operate for me. It's definitely great when you have a lot of different tattoo stamps that you can download and buy. And if it's not in your budget right now, it's definitely nothing wrong with that. Just keep working and one day you'll be able to get one. If you're at a point where you're gonna be tattooing clients, I definitely recommend some type of bandage for the client. Personally, I use Recovery Derm Shield. It's a second skin that you put over the tattoo just to make sure that it's kept clean and to ensure that your client has a healthy aftercare process. Something that also can be found on Amazon. So that is everything that you'll be needing to start your journey as a self-taught tattoo artist. I definitely hope this video helped. Any questions or comments, make sure y'all put that in the comment box below. Make sure y'all like and share this video. Hit that subscribe button and I'm gonna see y'all later.